You have seen our first guests in shows like Parks and Recreation and Netflix's Glow, and now you can enjoy their new podcast that explores their journey finding the fun in a booze-free life. We welcome comedians, actors, and besties, Anne Gregory and Rebekka Johnson. Thank you both so much for being here today.
Hi, thanks for having us.
I love the title of the podcast, Non-Drinking Buddies. So take me back to both of you individually deciding to put alcohol away separately, and you didn't realize you did it at the same time.
Yes, exactly. So I had like a 48-hour migraine. It was awful. I was hugging the toilet, worshiping the toilet. You get it. And so I was just like, I'm done. I keep on getting these migraines. I'm done. And I texted Rebekka about a week later because I didn't know how she would react.
Yeah, because Anne and I used to hang out together. We're moms. Our kids go to the same school. We used to drink together all the time when we hung out, when our kids were having play dates or when they were, doing other activities. And I was the type of person who was like really into partying. At being a comedian, I would go out after all my shows. I worked at cocktail bars. I even made a lot of content about cocktails and alcohol. And I was just kind of a person who alcohol was sort of like a big part of my identity. And I got to the point where when I would drink even just like 3 drinks, I wouldn't remember what happened. And that was really insane and signaled to me that there was a problem. And so I stopped because of a dependency issue. And so Anne texted me and said, I have to tell you something. And she said it like it was a big, dark, deep secret.
Because we would drink when we would hang out. We were like wine moms,
And she said, I quit drinking. And I was like, me too. And I was like, when? And she's like, December 3rd. And I was like, me too. And we're like,
what?
So we luckily quit on the same day and quit at the same time. So we've had the opportunity to go through this
together and to help each other when we wanted to drink again and to find the fun. But we weren't always great at finding the fun. So that's why we started this podcast to ask people who have been doing this longer, how the heck do you have fun without alcohol?
Yeah, especially when it's such a part of our society and a part of our lives for so many years.
You've had some great guests already, just a few weeks in. Jason Ritter, Dr. Drew, what was that like? Because he's got some great insight into the addiction perspective of the whole thing.
That was amazing. He was really down to earth and fun. But my biggest takeaway with Dr. Drew is that if you give up alcohol even for a week, it benefits your health. So I think this is not like sobriety is often looked at as all or nothing. And that is true for a lot of people. But for other people, even if you take a break, there are going to be benefits for your mental health, for your physical health, etc.
Yeah, and not many people know how sort of toxic alcohol can be. And Dr. Drew really went through and told us all the
sciencey words that I didn't quite understand, but we were like nodding our head like,
sounds bad. Yeah.
But he was also really fun. And what's funny is he actually drinks sometimes himself. So it's not like he has to completely abstain. He just doesn't drink that much. And it was really interesting talking to him, especially because he's worked with so many people who deal with addiction and, all their issues.
And there's no judgment from him. And you guys as well, beginning your own journey and learning from other people. Were you surprised when you opened up about your decision, how many people in your life you discovered who were either sober in recovery or who had decided to leave alcohol behind?
Oh, yeah. We've gotten so many messages. Like, as soon as we both put it out, we kind of put it out there when we were 1 year sober. And so many people messaged us and were like, either, how did you do it? Because they were questioning their relationship with alcohol. Or they were like, also, I don't drink. Like, nobody knows, but I also don't drink. And it was,
or they were like, I want to talk to you about this. And then we reached out, and they're guests on our podcast, or coming up as guests on our podcast.
Yes.
That's so exciting. Well, it's just a really beautiful place. So you mentioned kind of finding the fun in it, and you hear all these maybe scary statistics or things that are related to the addiction side, but just living your life and having fun as best friends doing this together. I think that's a beautiful thing because a lot of people are rethinking their relationships with alcohol, and you have a great outlet for them.
Oh, yeah. And we also realized, like, we're funny and fun and entertaining during the day when we're not drinking, right? This is something I had to sort of have as a tape going through my mind. Like, I am able to have fun without alcohol.
Yeah.
So then I can also do that at night.
Yeah, you can still, we could still go to parties, not right away. It's tricky right away to be in a room full of people who are 3 beers in, 3 cocktails in, but you get better at it. And we had the guest Kate Nash on, who's coming out on our podcast, The Rock Star, tomorrow. Yeah. And she said, you're not boring when you quit drinking. Other people who are boring, it's just more apparent to you. Right?
It's harder to hang out with boring people when you're not drinking. So it just makes you have that delineation and decide, hey, I'm only going to hang out with fun people. And people are fun whether they're drinking or not. And we've learned that we're both fun, even without alcohol, you know, and sometimes our fun, instead of going to a party or a club, is, you know, walking around Target.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. That sounds like a dream.
You watch The Real Housewives. I've been reacquainted with the Real Housewives. Like, you can still shut off your brain, you know, you just don't have to do it with booze.
For sure. Can you take me back, because you both quit in the beginning of December in 2022. So going through the holiday season, that couldn't have been easy, but how wonderful that you had each other to lean on during that time.
Oh, we were texting each other constantly. She was gifting me audiobooks, like This Naked Mind, that by Annie Grace, which is a great resource. We were helping each other. We were like, she texted me, I'm doing karaoke for the first time sober and I don't want to go up. Which,
that is scary.
Like,
Yeah, the last Christmas was pretty difficult because for me, I had to go home to my family, and sort of every person that we were visiting, every house we were staying at, normally that would be our time to party with those people, you know, not party like crazy, but just like have some drinks and relax and spend time with my brother or my sister-in-law or my friends, or, you know, and each time when we go home, it's exhausting already. But then to do it and be sober while everyone else is having their relaxing holiday time, it was difficult, and it was only 2 weeks in. So yeah, it definitely was hard. Yeah. But getting through that I felt really good. I felt really accomplished. Like, I was like, wow, I ran a marathon after 2 weeks of training.
And I felt like her coach on the sidelines texting her, like, keep going. You don't have to drink during karaoke. You know?
It's
Turns
hard.
out my voice is even better. My voice is much better without
For sure. And you can remember the lyrics too, right?
Yes.
Sure. Yep.
You guys are busy, though, with lots of projects together as best friends. You did an incredible variety show at Edinburgh this past year. Tell me about that. I was just reading the premise and laughing out loud at my desk this morning.
So it's called The Retreat, and it's like a fake kickoff event for this fictional corporation. So the audience plays our employees.
And we are like crazy CEOs,
delusional ladies,
delusional girl bosses. And so each month when we do it in LA, each month we have a different corporation that we are the CEOs of. But for Edinburgh at the Fringe, we were the CEOs of Menzies, which is a period panties company.
Yeah, and the period panties do not work.
And they're heinously ugly.
And we wear them on stage the whole time.
With turtlenecks tucked into them.
And nobody wants to see us that way, but we twerk in them, and you just have to accept it because you're our employees.
And luckily we sold out every night, and so we had lots of British and Scottish people there just, you know, egging us on.
And we were sober the entire time.
Come on now. That's pretty impressive. That's a fun time. How do you maintain the bestie relationship, working together, traveling together, being on tour? What's that like? Do you ever have moments where you're like, I need a little break, friend?
We were staying in a studio apartment.
My bed was a futon in the kitchen, and Anne's bed was right behind mine through a curtain in a little alcove. So, you know, it really tested
our sobriety,
tested our friendship. We both got like cold. We were coughing. There was no way around it.
I'm sorry.
But we honestly make each other laugh a lot. It's like amazing having someone who has the same humor and sensibility, and we can kind of go real deep or real surface joke and just go back and forth. So it kind of feels like when you're 12 and you have a sleepover, but she never froze my underwear in the freezer, so that's good.
Not yet.
She's playing the long game. Yeah. You guys are bestie soulmates. It was meant to be. Thank you so much for spending some time with us today.
Oh, thanks
Thank
for
you.
having us. This is delightful. Thank you.
Of course, and we'll have more about Rebekka and Ann, including how you can listen to their new podcast, Non-Drinking Buddies, on our website at ka2u.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.